Hey guys, you're watching CarTopic, and today we're going to be talking about the McLaren Senna. Now, the McLaren Senna is the third car in McLaren's Ultimate Series. It starts with the iconic McLaren F1, and more recently the P1. But these two cars we talked about in our last video. In today's video, we're talking about the third one, the McLaren Senna. And in the future, we also have the McLaren Speedtail. This is the proper successor to the original McLaren F1 and is the fourth car in McLaren's Ultimate Series. But before we talk about the McLaren Senna, let's talk about the reason why the car even exists. And that's because of Ayrton Senna. Now, if you don't know Ayrton Senna, he's arguably one of the best Formula One drivers of his time, if not one of the best ever. He won 41 out of the 162 races he raced in. That's over 25% of the races he won. He also won a podium position almost 50% of the time. He raced for Tolman, Lotus, and Williams, but is best known for his racing with McLaren. And as you can probably imagine, he was a great driver, and no one saw this coming. But unfortunately, on May 1st, 1994, Senna crashed at high speeds in his Williams F1 car and died in a hospital later that day. Now, while he only lived for 34 years, his impact on Formula One will last forever, and people still remember him to this day and onward. Now, let's fast forward to 2017. When McLaren revealed the Senna to the world. This car was designed to dominate on the track in honor of Ayrton Senna's racing in Formula One. And just to see how well of a car this is on the track, let's take a look at a great example. The McLaren Senna had 789 horsepower and a 0 to 60 of 2.9 seconds. But the McLaren P1 had 903 horsepower and a 0 to 60 of 2.6 seconds. So even though the P1 had a ton more horsepower and had a much quicker 0 to 60 time, the Senna was still faster on the track. So we know that the McLaren Senna is a super fast car on the track, but let's take a look at some of its track times on the Grand Prix circuits where Ayrton Senna raced. For example, on the Silverstone Grand Prix, the McLaren Senna got a track time of 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Ayrton Senna won at Silverstone in 1988. Let's also take a look at Spa, where the McLaren Senna got a track time of 2 minutes and 24 seconds. Ayrton Senna won at Spa 5 times. This is his second most winned track in his entire career. So, as you can tell, this car is pretty fast on the track. And if you look at the McLaren Senna's track time compared to other times, it's not that far behind some of the more modern Formula One cars, just showing how amazing of a car the Senna is. But in order to show that this car was truly made to honor Ayrton Senna, we got the McLaren Senna GTR. The Senna GTR is a non-street legal, track-only weapon with 814 horsepower and almost double the downforce as the normal Senna. This is accomplished by having a huge front splitter and an even bigger rear diffuser, as well as some minor aero changes all around, such as a wider bumper in the front and rear. Now, if you want to own a track-only car that has a Formula One racing type experience, this is probably the closest you could get. And this car is so fast that it's not even allowed to race in any GT type racing. But McLaren still decided to make it anyway, because it's not about the racing it's in, it's about the racing that it can do. So, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I really hope you learned at least a few things about the McLaren Senna and the man behind it all. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, And be sure to let me know down below in the comments what you thought of today's video, as well as if you have any ideas for future ones. I'll be sure to make it happen to the best of my ability. I also wanted to let you guys know that we do have a CarTopic Instagram page, so if you like what we're doing here, please be sure to check it out. Also, let me know down below in the comments if you would like me to do a video on the McLaren Speedtail, the fourth McLaren in the Ultimate Series. But anyways, thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time on CarTopic.